What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it, lay the smack down the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Punchy.tv. And at any point during the show, you can call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. Call in and we can get into some stuff. You guys know how it goes. Also, if for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV, or go directly to the YouTube live chat, hit the super chat button, send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air and as they come in. Smash that like button across the board on all platforms. Smash that like button. Hop in the comment section and let's get the message out. Know what I'm saying? Amazing stuff. Listen, let's get into it. You guys seen the thumbnail, or those who are watching on YouTube, you guys see the thumbnail. Crazy, crazy times. Kamala. I want to talk about some stuff. I want to comment on the times that we're in right now, how I see it from my perspective, my little vantage point. And I want to just speak on some things. Because I think that there's a shift that's happening in the world in general, but in the country, but in the world. But we'll just speak about the country. I think there's a shift happening. And what I think that shift is that the truth is coming to the light. I think we've seen a lot of lies. We've seen a lot of deception. We've seen a lot of delusion, and we're still gonna see that stuff. But I think truth is gonna have its day soon. The reason why I believe that is because I think that nothing is new underneath the sun. The world spins and things change. And I think that that's how it's been from the beginning of time, right? There's an era of destruction and there's an era of revival, and it keeps going around in a circle, right? I believe that to be true. And same reason why we had like the Renaissance era or stuff like that, right? Because it can only get so bad until people start realizing, like, I don't want to live like this. This is too much. This is crazy. And things will start changing. But not only that, in the cut, God has his chosen few that he's preparing that will get their time to shine as well. And that's for those waking up. That's for those who he's been working with, that will lead the charge and restore order to the country. I believe it's possible. I believe it's already in the process of happening. And I want to show you guys a few examples of it. Okay? A few examples of it. This first one is, I think this is from Donald Trump's Instagram itself, but obviously he had a rally. He's been going on these rallies, right? Of course, because he's running for president, United States. So he's doing like a rally like every other day or every day or something. And he had these border patrol agents endorsing him. And I wanted to make a point about that, and I wanted to share a clip from that, and we'll do our little commentary on it afterwards. So this is from Instagram. Border agents endorse Trump.
America, I have a message for you. If we allow Border Czar Harris to win this election, every city, every community in this great country is going to go to hell. The untold millions of people, unvetted, who she has allowed into this country that are committing murders, rapes, robberies, burglaries, and every other crime will continue to put our country in peril. Only one man can fix that. That is Donald J. Trump. He has always stood with the men and women who protect this border, who put their lives on the line for the country. A man who knows about putting his life on the line for what is right. This November, we have a choice to make. Continue the chaos. Allow the criminal cartels to control the border, to allow drugs and fentanyl across our country, or put an end to it once and for all. On behalf of the 16,000 men and women represented by the National Border Patrol Council, we strongly support and endorse Donald J. Trump for President of the United States.
This is why I say the truth is coming to light. Because just imagine this. Just think about this for a second. Kamala Harris was the border czar, right? To where this is her job. This is what she was supposed to do. And what that also means is having a relationship enough with border agents to deal with the issue. But just imagine Kamala actually being the border czar, right? Not Trump being the border czar. Kamala being the border czar. And in office this past 4 years, yet these border agents are coming out. And mind you, these border agents, these guys are on the ground, on the front lines. They're seeing the crime. They're seeing this stuff happen. This is not word of mouth. These are people who are there watching it happen, witnessing it. And Kamala is supposed to be tight with these people. She's supposed to be tight with these people because she's working directly with them. She was supposed to be. Yet 16,000 border agents, on behalf of what this man is saying, are endorsing Donald Trump. That in itself should just tell you also the lies that have been told on the other side. These are people who are seeing crime. They're witnessing it at the border. And they coming up on the platform, Donald Trump's platform, and saying, listen, there's drugs coming across the border. There's rapists. There's all these things coming across the border. And we need Trump to handle the job because he's always been trying to do it. Kamala ain't been doing it. And they telling you himself, representing all the other ones. The truth will come to light, and I think that, that's part of the shift. I think that's happening. is it's becoming more and more evident, and people are excuse me. People are starting to see the truth. And also, and I got some more I want to show you guys. Also, there's people who don't know nothing about policy, don't know nothing about politics, not even into politics, maybe won't even vote or wasn't thinking about voting before, but in their neighborhoods, they're dealing with people who are actually being attacked. They're actually being attacked, or their houses being broken into, or whatever the case is. They're dealing with the issue. Elon's mama. Elon was saying how his mom and her friends have been attacked before, according to Elon. There was a clip that's circling the internet. Well, I'll skip that because I don't have the clip with me. But anyway, it should be evident. But let's move on. In case, just for a second, you were thinking about wondering where you should vote or what each party represents as a whole. Okay, right? If you are curious which way you should vote, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to show you right now. And you make up your own mind, right? You make up your own mind. You decide who you want to vote for. And it ain't up to me or anybody else. But I'm just here to bring some clips, bring some information for you to maybe help make a decision. But this is from Instagram as well. Men singing about vaccination. Here we go.
Vaccinate, get rid of COVID. Vaccinate, get rid of COVID. Shut the arm, doesn't hurt at all. Gotta make time to go. Gotta make time to go. Gotta make it to the clinic. Now it's time to vaccinate and take back the world. Line up for size, 6 feet apart, and don't you worry. Don't stay at home, please wear your mask, we've got to hurry. Vaccinate, make an appointment. Vaccinate, make an appointment. Vaccinate, get rid of COVID. Vaccinate, get rid of COVID. Vaccinate.
Listen, there's no way that we can prove that all those men are voting Democrat, right? But this is the behavior that we see oftentimes that that cater to the Democratic Party, that love the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party pretends to be or likes to believe that it's so loving and accepting and be who you are and blah, 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 right? So people like this who do this kind of stuff are typically the ones who vote Democrat, right? But just think of this too. Because the election is coming up, y'all. Think of this too. Those men, because those are all men, those men or males, those men they represent the direction that the Democrats want the country to go into, right? They represent that, right? Those men that you see singing about vaccinations, those are the ones that are having kids and raising their young children, especially young boys, to follow in their footsteps or be like that, or even worse. Those type of men are raising your children. Also, those type of men are teaching your children, teaching your kids, right? Those type of men are teaching your kids in the schools, all this kind of stuff. They're influencing the children. And the Democratic Party represent that. And I always like being a fly on the wall with this kind of stuff. Just watching and looking. And just making sense of it for myself and just trying to understand and blah, 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 right? But I'm realizing at the same time that it's starting to be easier and easier for the average person just to see with their eyes what's going on. They can see with their eyes what's going on. And at the end of the day, who knows where it's gonna go? Who knows who's gonna win the election? We're hoping for Trump. We're rooting for Trump. Because he just has common sense. And Trump's not perfect for those who are listening for the first time or whatever. Trump's not perfect, and I'm not saying that Trump is a saint or whatever, but he's a real guy. And he's solid, and he ain't afraid, and he's tough, and he fights, and that's what's needed. He's like the father in the home. He's like the father in the home. And it's evident. But who knows what's going to happen and who knows who's going to win. It can go either way. But I want to say this last point, and then I got something else I got to show you. Lord have mercy. I got some other stuff I got to show you. But let's just say if Kamala is to get in or Trump loses or whatever, right? That's fine too. We want Trump in. It'll be better if Trump is in, right? So we think. But if Kamala gets in, then it should be no stress either. Because I also realized that hell, sorry kids, but hell is also the pathway to heaven for those who are aware. And what I mean by that is, look what happened to the last 4 years of Joe. Look how many people voted for Joe in the beginning because they hated Trump so much, right? 4 years ago, all the people that voted for Joe, right? And they thought that it was a good idea and it was going to be great. And then he got in there and all this stuff started happening, things start changing. And in that, it's been waking people up. People are like, hold on. It wasn't like this when Trump was in there. More people are starting to wake up. More black Americans starting to wake up for a fact. Way more black Americans starting to wake up. And that, what we can credit that to is people having to see for themselves how bad things are. So all in all, the point is that we keep the faith in God, right? We continue to trust God. We let God cook. And we don't worry too much about this kind of stuff. Still vote. Still pay attention. Still be aware. But, you know, God is in control because sometimes it takes a disaster for people to wake up, unfortunately, but that's just how it is. So sometimes that's just the process. So keep the faith in God, but we're still pushing for Trump, and it's looking, from my perspective, it's looking great for Trump. From my perspective, I can see that there's definitely an energy that falls on the Republican side. a heavy energy, and it's thanks to Donald Trump and obviously the people who are out there voting and standing up and whatever. But Donald Trump is playing a big part in the influence because he's just who he is. He's a special type of guy. So I feel like it's pointing in his direction, but who knows what be going on behind the scenes with this kind of stuff. So who knows what direction it'll go, but Donald Trump is the guy. I have something else I want to show you guys. And then, but first I want to take a call about something, about this topic at hand. And then we'll go from there. Kyle, welcome to the show. You're on the air from Massachusetts. Kyle. Okay, cool. All right. Derek is gonna check on Kyle for me. I'm gonna show you this clip. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Let me show you guys this. So this is from YouTube. Soft White Underbelly is the name of the YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it, but this guy interviews a lady musician because it's been, obviously we know Diddy is under fire right now. We know that a lot of stuff is coming out. You know, I read a report on my show a while ago that 120 accusers plus have come forward to discredit Diddy. And that's a lot of people. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out about, you know, crazy stuff. Some stuff may be true, some stuff may be not. We don't know. We have to wait and see. But I always like to hear the people's stories. I like to hear what people have to say about it. I like to hear like the so-called victims who come forward and they speak on these situations, because in what they say, you can kind of just fill out for yourself what may be true and what's not. I like the testimonies. So I have one I want to share with you guys just for food for thought, right? And this is a lady musician looking to advance her career at the time, speaks on her experience at a Diddy freak off. Woo-hoo! This is like a few minutes long, so we'll just go through it. Here we go.
December of 22.
Oh yeah, about to be 23.
December of 22, you were here. You did our first interview. You were just some girl that I met through a friend.
Right.
And you were doing this interview, and you mentioned something about...
I accidentally mentioned it too. Like it slipped out.
About P. Diddy.
About P. Diddy.
You went to one of his parties.
Yeah. Crazy party.
And he's in the news now because of all the scandal.
And they didn't believe me. But when it started coming out, people were like mentioning me like, you were telling the truth about it. And I'm like, duh, I'm not gonna lie about something like that. And I kind of like tried to briefly talk about it because I knew it wasn't gonna seem true because it was just too much. It was too
crazy.
It was too crazy. People were gonna think that I was just lying. It had like a lot of people involved, celebrities and stuff. So I was trying to be real vague about it, but that party traumatized me.
How did you get invited to it?
By being with a prince that I met in LA. He lived in Glendale, California. And, you know, long story short, I got out of this crazy little contract and I was looking for somebody to invest in me. And I knew somebody who knew somebody that was like, I want to introduce you to a prince. He know a lot of celebrities, producers and stuff. So I never put two and two together that this prince knew P. Diddy as the producer.
And you say a prince. Prince of what?
He was a Arabian prince.
Really?
Yes. Wow. And he really was a prince for real. But I wasn't worried about him being a prince. I was worried about who he actually knew. So when he invited me to, he met me, he said, I want to invite you tomorrow to Music Ultra Week, whatever. And it's like an event, Ultra Music Week. It's like an event for like 2 weeks where people party, including P. Diddy. And they party at Club Live. They party at like just in South Beach, Star Island, like where P. Diddy stays or throw his freak offs at. And I never knew that we were gonna go there because I was there for 2 weeks and I knew it was something fishy. He kept saying, I got a surprise for you. I'm like, but I'm only supposed to stay for 2 weeks and I'm here longer than 2 weeks. And it was almost a month. It was basically a month by then. And he was like, no, because I just want you to meet one special person. So he ended up telling me, like, when we went to Club Live, he was like, guess where we're going tonight? I'm like, where? He's like, to P. Diddy's house. I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, that's crazy because I hear a lot about P. Diddy. And I'm like, his house for what? Like, to go sing? He's like, no, he's throwing this wild party. Da-da-da. I'm like, oh, okay. So we went from Club Live. It ended at like, the clubs end at like 3 or 4 and not 2 like how out here is. So we waited around the mansion, the Prince's mansion, for about an hour. And then as soon as 6:30 hit, we went. We all got in the car, like a big Uber, and me and all the other girls. Now, mind you, I'm the only black girl. So I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm about to meet P. Diddy. Oh, you know, like, I'm probably going to have to sing for him, da-da-da. And I just tried to, like, keep my composure. So we get there, and that's when stuff got weird. And that's why they lock up our phones, because they know what we see in there, you know, it's he can get in trouble, like right now. So basically, we arrived, security guard patted us down. They put our phone in this little bubble case. So the bubble case is closed. They can't get unlocked until we walk out. So as we're in there, the only way of us taking any type of pictures is if we get in the photo booth. He has like a Teen Love photo booth or whatever. Take like 4 pictures. So I, you know, got pictures. I still got everything in my Snap too, like of the photos, everything. That's all you could get. So I'm walking around or whatever. So one of his sons, I'm not going to tell you which one, but it was like recruiting like whoever they wanted to go inside the house, because the freak off is inside the house and in the backyard.
Just a really quick pause, really quick. Imagine raising your sons up, if this is true, right? Raising your sons up to be involved in this type of thing, and they're one of the recruiters for your freak offs. That's wild. But anyway.
So you have the pool, and they're playing loud house music. Like, Mark, the house music, it makes you feel kind of woozy, first of all, because it's like a rave or something. Dun, 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 and it's real loud. So you can't really see nothing, but you're seeing everybody like walking around, drunk, hopping around. It's still 7 a.m. So the sun is like coming up, and people are walking around naked, period. Let's get into it. They're walking around naked already, and they're in the pool skinny dipping. And they're drinking mimosas in the pool, but then it's like a waitress walking around giving people drinks, just passing people drinks, you know, and people are just taking them. Me, I don't drink like that, but I'm like an occasional drinker. Like, I'll drink if we're partying or whatever, just for that occasion. So, because people are going to keep saying, drink, drink, drink. But I didn't take a drink yet. But I just had it in my hand. So one of the sons seen me walking. Mind you, I'm with other girls, but we split up. So I was walking with one girl. She's a Puerto Rican girl. So P. Diddy's son was like, you. And I'm like, me or her? And then he was like, no, you. Come here. So I went to him, and he gave me some shoes. So these shoes was like some terry cloth, like robe shoes, white shoes. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with these? He was like, go in the house with these. He was like, everybody who gets these shoes, you get to go in the house. But I'm thinking you could just go in the house if you want to, but everybody can't go in the house. They're literally selectively picking who they want. So I'm like, well, what about my friend? He was like, no, only you. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm holding the shoes. I'm walking around. You know, I'm a good, loyal friend. I'm not going to go inside a house where they say my friend can't go. So we just walking around mingling. But we tripping out, looking at everybody like they off, everything smoking and jumping around like hooligans. And so I seen P. Diddy or whatever, and I seen him with the Prince. I'm not gonna say what he was doing, but something really, I get real nervous. Something real crazy, because I don't like to really expose people. I could talk about me, but when it's about, like, me, my family, because it's us. But when it's other people, bro, doing something real sexual, that's all I'm gonna say. So that we can see and so that we can get turned on, okay? So he's doing something with himself. And I'm like, girl, do you see him? She's like, yes. But mind you, we're screaming like, girl, do you see him? Oh my God, because of the music. And I'm just like, whatever. Then he starts to act like really obnoxious, like, I'm the king of the world, jumping around, doing all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, that's regular P. Diddy shit.
Oh,
but what got
sorry.
me was how he walked up to me and was like, why are you not in the house? And I'm like, what do you mean? He like, how are you enjoying my house? So we had a little talk or whatever. He started talking about all these things. Oh, yeah, you're the one that, I seen was telling me about the prince. He's like, oh, yeah, it's very nice to meet you. Like, your life is not going to be the same, da-da-da-da. We started talking about going to Cuba. Are you going to Cuba with us? I'm like, what? And that's the thing. I didn't really know about this. So this is when I start asking around or whatever. And I said that in the last interview. But to get to the point, I ended up going in the house because he was on me, like, go in that house. I'm like, okay. And then the person that he was dating at that time, we're not going to say her name, but we all know, she came and was like looking at him like, what are you doing? Because he was talking to me for too long. So she came to like rub on his shoulders or whatever. And he just pushed her. And I'm looking like real uncomfortable, like, oh, I know what this is about. I don't want to be in the middle of there, whatever. So that's what made me go into the house, because I'm like, okay, let me just go in the house. So I told my friend, like, wait right here, girl, let me just put on these shoes, see what this house is about. Walk up in there. I don't judge people, because at the time I was just smoking weed. But you know when people are out of their mind, and you know when people, you know what you don't want to be a part of. And it's just like, I'm seeing stuff that you see on the movies. This corner, this got going on. This corner, they over here doing this. This corner, they over there having sex. This corner, I'm just going to say, because I don't know what I can say, because I'm not trying to be incriminating myself, but they were dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies.
Like what?
Little people, okay? We're not going to say what type of little people, but like a fetish. And I'm looking like, what are they doing here? Like, dressed up, little red lipstick, like, they weren't supposed to be there. But I'm just looking like, maybe it's some type of production going on. But why would they be at this party at 7 o'clock in the morning with grown people? Like, why would they be here? So I was just like, okay, whatever. Like,
Little people. That's, now that's the question. What does she mean by little people? What are little people? Interesting. This is all alleged, what she's saying, of course. There's obviously an investigation that's going on at the moment. But I have no reason to doubt what she's saying. You know what I mean? There are people who be making stuff up for a certain reason, or they have some type of agenda in there. But for whatever reason, I tend to believe that what she said she saw is what she saw, because it's not that far-fetched with these celebrities. You know what I mean? It's not that far-fetched with these parties that celebrities have, and the way this, the way the ego can get out of control, and you having this type of money to do whatever you want, and you have this type of false power that you can use. You know what I mean? So it's not far-fetched in what she's saying to be true. And we've seen, you may have seen little examples of it, through other stories and stuff throughout life, whatever. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And the reason why I bring this up is that I don't know about the other 120 people, but it makes sense to me what she's saying. I have no reason to doubt her. I'm not a judge, so it's not up to me to convict Diddy or not. And my opinion is just my opinion, but I believe that what she's saying is true. the question is obviously is like, okay, well, where is the illegal part come in, right? Because that's just crazy, like crazy stuff, right? But where's the illegal part come in? And it makes you wonder what she meant by little people. You know, what does she mean by little people? Why were there little people there? What is a little person? Is that a midget? Is that a child? What is a little person? So that's the part where obviously investigation and due process and all that stuff is important, because then, you know, you're breaking the law and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, the point is the last shall be first and the first shall be last, right? And with it, whether it be this whole thing that I started off with Kamala and the Democrats and all this stuff, all that is in the dark will be shown in the light. The truth will come to light. So those who are propped up and shown to be perceived as righteous or perceived as good or whatever the case may be, or perceived like they got it all together, perceived that they're this powerful person, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So all this little stuff that we thought people were getting away with, all this stuff that we thought was true about celebrities, that, you know, or just people in general, that people who are famous got their stuff together, it's not true. And before we had the internet, we had to believe it, and we just believed it because it made sense. The glitter, the glam, the money, the influence. Like, we just wanted to be like these people because it looks so cool, looks so convincing. But now things are starting to be shown like, hold up, what's going on here? And another thing I want to say, and then I'm off this, I'll get to some calls, is it seems like evil is winning because the children of God, I'm telling you, are taking the hits. Look at Donald Trump. Two assassination attempts, failed assassination attempts, a third threat, right, from Iran, allegedly threatening to assassinate Trump. Like, the children of God taking hits. Also, we don't even know what's going on inside Trump's cabinet. We don't know what kind of stuff, the corruption that's happening inside the Republican Party, inside the government. We don't know none of that stuff, but the children of God are taking hits. And if those who know, children of God are taking hits right now, and it seems like evil is getting away with everything. Children of God are taking hits, they're getting beat up, and nobody's seeing it. That's the crazy thing. Children of God are getting beat up, and no one's seeing it, and if they're seeing it, they're not even caring about it. And all the credit and all the glory, all the praise goes to the evildoers, right? And then children of God sit back like, what's going on here? I'm working on myself, I'm doing this, I'm doing the right thing, I'm trying to blah, 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 and yet still taking the hit. But that's why God said it. God said, rejoice those who are persecuted for my name's sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, just as those who were persecuted before you. He said that's what it was going to be like. But there will come a time where the first will be last and the last will be first. And we just got to let that be. We just got to let that reveal itself. Let God cook. Let it happen. Because, it's going to happen. And though the wrongdoers will get their day. The wrongdoers will get their day. So take heart, Christians. Take heart, stand firm, and keep enduring, knowing that the best is yet to come and that God is working and making you stronger through this persecution. So that way, when it's time for you to stand up and take your rightful place, you'll be firm, impenetrable, so you can really do what needs to be done. So let God cook. The last will be first and the first will be last. Anyway, did God say, Joel, did God say it or the Bible? It says that in the Bible, but it was revealed to me. So I'm going with God's urge. Let me get to some calls. Let's go to John out of Texas. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Well, it's good to be on the air today. How's your day today? Hope it's going well.
All is well, John. How are you?
I'm a little muffed.
What's that mean?
Well, I'm confused. Why was there an Arab prince
Are you able
picking
to
people up?
Are you able to either shut the dog up or go to another room?
That's a neighbor's dog.
Can you close the
I think I'm
door or the
over
window
here.
or something? Because it'll be too
I
distracting
got
to
as
have.
far away as possible. As far away as possible.
Okay,
He
go ahead.
can't see me, so he should shut up.
Go ahead. We'll see how it goes.
Why was the Arab prince leading women to a P. Diddy party with little people?
That's a great question, John. That's a great question. Further making the point as the corruption in these higher up people who seem to hold on one second, John. There's this weird stuff going on with the phone. Hold on one second. Wait. Okay, hold on one second. John, blah, blah, blah. Derek's going to fix the phone. While we're waiting on John, let me go to Kyle. Kyle in Massachusetts. Kyle, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How's it going? I just want to say Christ is king. Christ is the creator, the father of your soul, your eternal soul, and there's never anything to fear.
Yeah.
And if you're going through deep in life, the only enemy is you. And when you look in the mirror,
Yeah.
just want to see what you think about.
No, you're right. You know, that's actually a good point, Kyle, is that the enemy is always in the mirror, meaning that if anybody is affecting us, if anybody is making us feel a certain way, or we're offended by them, or they're triggering us, it's because it's the spirit within us that is unsettled, that is that hasn't been overcome. So it's not
Christ
them.
wants you to be on the path. Yeah.
Right, and it's not them. It's not the enemy. It's not the person on the outside that's hurting your feelings. It's your feelings that are being hurt with an inside.
Right,
So the enemy is
but
yourself.
But it's not even your own. It's not even your own actions. Like when you, a guy gets a DUI, he gets in a fight with his buddy and loses, and then they forgive each other, and you go, oh, my buddy's like. I crashed a plane and survived. Something insane, like the most worst thing that could happen. At the end of the day, it's like looking back on that, looking back on things, that's not what your father, the creator, would want, is for you to be drained. He wants to fill you up with energy, not drain you, which is what Satan does.
Right. And give us an example. Give us an example of how you believe Satan drains us.
Just being stressed out, like where like things are going good for me, and then I like my sleep isn't good. Like things are going good for me, or like and then I get I get stuck rather in a thought loop, and then I like lose energy. And I'm still a young guy, like just stuff like that. Like just like it's like Jesse is so important. Everyone needs to go subscribe to all the channels of the Hake Report, Joel Friday TV, Jesse Lee Peterson, and the American Anchor Baby. Very important stuff. Very practical advice to be aware of the forces that want you to die rather than to thrive.
And that's it's such a good point, Kyle, because it's all derived straight from the head. It all comes from just the mind, right? It's all just believing these thoughts, and then we feel all this pain, and then like you said, it steals your energy. But then for a second, we stop, and we should stop and be aware and realize, wow, this is all I'm feeling this only because I'm in my head thinking about something that I don't even need to be worrying about. And then you come back to the present, and then it passes. So we just got to remember to, when that happens, come back to the present, and that energy that you lost, it will come back, because it just has to pass.
It will come back.
Yeah.
I feel as though the power of like being drained by like negative things is so much. It's so weak that it's like when someone gets really like close to the other one, where it's the uplifting, it's God giving you energy, because you're like, that's so much more important.
Yeah.
It's so much more powerful, rather.
Yeah.
Obviously. And I feel like people just get blinded for years and like not realizing that.
No, you're 100%. And the best thing to do is be still and be aware. And I actually have this little clip I'm going to play really quick before I end here. And it talks about being aware. And I'm going to share it with the audience on my show. So tune in right now, and I'm going to play it. And it just has some insightful stuff about being aware, being still, and how that's helpful. So I appreciate it, Kyle, and thanks for the call. And good stuff, man. Thank you so
much. Everyone liked the stream. Joel is a real example of what to be. Thank you so much, Joel.
Right on.
Like the stream, guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, Kyle. Nice. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Let me see if I can get it. So interesting. I found it the other day, and I was gonna cut it up. Oh, I have it right here. Ha ha ha.
Incredible.
I was gonna cut it up so I can play it today, but I just didn't get to it. But it's okay. I'm gonna play it from YouTube, and hopefully YouTube will let me show you guys. So let's do this. Perfect timing too, because we're about to go out. So I'll play this as we go out to end my show, and we'll go from there. Hold on. Amazing stuff. Let me go to make sure this is good. Boom. Bow. All right. It's going to play right now. Tell me if you guys see this. I think you guys see it. Here we go.
Hey there, let's talk about the real truth of being silent. You know, it's something that we often overlook in our lives, but it holds immense power. When we choose to be silent,
that's supposed to be Denzel Washington, by the way.
We open ourselves up to a world of possibilities and growth. I've learned that silence is not just the absence of noise, but it's a state of mind. It's a place where we can find clarity, peace, and inner strength. In a world that's constantly bombarding us with information and distraction, silence offers a sanctuary where we can reconnect with ourselves. You see, when we're silent, we give ourselves the opportunity to listen. We listen to our own thoughts, our intuition, and the whispers of our hearts. It's in these moments of silence that we can truly understand ourselves and what we want out of life. But silence isn't just about self-reflection. It's also about observing the world around us. When we're quiet, we become more aware of our surroundings. We notice the little things that we might have missed before: the beauty of a sunset, the kindness of a stranger, or the laughter of a child. Silence allows us to appreciate the simple joys of life. Now, I know what you might be thinking. In today's fast-paced society, being silent can feel like a luxury we can't afford. We're constantly pushed to be productive, to fill every moment with activity and noise. But let me tell you, taking the time to be silent is not a waste of time. In fact, it's an investment in yourself. When you embrace silence, you give your mind a chance to rest and recharge. You'll find that you have more energy, more focus, and more creativity. Silence can be the key to unlocking your full potential and achieving your dreams. But being silent doesn't mean being passive or weak. In fact, it takes a great deal of strength and courage to be silent in the face of adversity. When someone tries to provoke you or bring you down, responding with silence can be the most powerful thing you can do. It shows that you're in control of your emotions and that you won't let others dictate your actions. Silence can also be a tool for communication. Sometimes the most meaningful conversations happen without a single word being spoken. A look, a smile, or a gentle touch can convey more than 1,000 words ever could. When we're silent, we create space for others to express themselves and be heard. But perhaps the most profound truth about being silent is that it allows us to connect with something greater than ourselves. Whether you call it the universe, nature, or higher power, silence can be a bridge to spiritual awakening. When we quiet our minds and open our hearts, we can tap into a source of infinite wisdom and guidance. So how can we cultivate more silence in our lives? It starts with making a conscious choice to create space for it. Set aside time each day to be alone with your thoughts, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Silent prayer.
Turn off your phone, step away from the computer, and simply be present in the moment.
Silent prayer.
You can also practice silence in your interactions with others. Instead of jumping to fill every pause with words, try listening more deeply. Give others the gift of your undivided attention and watch how your relationships transform. And when life gets tough, remember that silence can be your greatest ally. In the midst of chaos and turmoil, find a quiet place within yourself. Breathe deeply, let go of your worries, and trust that everything will unfold as it should. Now, I know that being silent isn't always easy. It can be uncomfortable, even scary at times. We're so used to the constant stimulation of modern life that the idea of being alone with our thoughts can be daunting. But I promise you, the rewards of embracing silence are worth the effort. When you learn to be silent, you'll discover a sense of inner peace that nothing else can match. You'll find the strength to face life's challenges with grace and resilience. You'll develop a deeper understanding of yourself and others, and you'll be able to navigate the world with greater wisdom and compassion. So, my friends, I invite you to embrace the power of silence. Let it be your teacher, your healer, and your guide. Trust in the stillness within you and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. Remember, silence is not emptiness. It's a space where you can find your true self and connect with the essence of who you are. It's a place of infinite potential and endless possibility. So the next time you find yourself in a moment of silence, don't rush to fill it with noise. Instead, take a deep breath and allow yourself to be fully present. Listen to the whispers of your heart and the wisdom of the universe.
Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. I got to end, but I just wanted to share that with you. That's a 20-minute video of them talking about AI Denzel. It sounds like AI Denzel. Talking about silence and the importance of silence. That's like my little if poem. I love that. But it's so long, so I can't play that every time. But that's exactly what the silent prayer is. Be still, and that's the same purpose it does. Be still, and it helps you to be present in the moment where God is, where all the answers are. We're always looking for the answers, and we rush to our mind to try to control and figure out the answers, and we end up just creating conflict within. But when we're just present and let go and trust God, he will answer those things, those questions that we're looking for. And he'll reveal all things. And that's exactly what the silent prayer does. So for those that don't do the silent prayer, it'll change your life. Honestly, that ain't dramatics. It'll definitely help bring you back to the present. So go to silentprayer.video for the newcomers. Silentprayer.video. And it's not a meditation, but it's like in that same type of idea, but except it's not weird. You know what I mean? You're not focusing on anything. You're just watching your thoughts as they pass, recognizing that you're not creating them. Right? You're just watching them as they pass, and as you're watching them, you're aware and you're in the moment. It's a great thing. I've been doing it for 7, 8 years plus since I heard about it. And I do it morning and night, and it helped a lot. So silentprayer.video, you guys can check that out. Very simple to do, and all that good stuff. I got to end, y'all. I appreciate it. Elections coming up. Vote for who you want, but I encourage you to vote Trump. But vote for who you want. And American Anchor Baby is coming in at 4 p.m. today, so make sure you guys tune over to his channel, The American Anchor Baby. He will be doing his show at 4 p.m. today, so make sure you guys don't miss that. And I'll be back here tomorrow. We'll get into some more stuff. Who knows what it'll be? I can't tell you, but we'll find out. Joel Friday TV across the board, and blah, 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 and all that good stuff. Until next time, y'all. Bye.